I know why you're here. You're here to start a PSP collection. You don't know where to start. You're as lost as a child that wandered off at the water park, and his parents were looking at the margarita prices, and you wandered because you saw something cool. You're that kid. I'm here to help. Woo! Why did I do that? This isn't that retro. Do you like my Cappy pin? So my first tip for you. So you've got your PSP system, no games. My first tip is to gather up all the used game inventory in your house. I'm guessing you're some sort of retro gamer aficionado at this point, because that's why you're here, right? So gather up all your gaming inventory. Doubles, you're going to want to collect your unwanted game controllers, specifically older retro controllers. They are very good trade bait. So you want to gather up all that stuff and make a little pile of anything you are willing to let go. That's my first tip. And my next tip, if you want to have a retro PSP collection that looks just like this one right here, take your pile of stuff you have, right? You're gonna go take it to the nearest thrift shop and or yard sales. Keep your pile of stuff in your car. You're gonna shop around at these yard sales and thrift stores. Try to find some deals on some retro gaming stuff. A lot of times they will have stuff at these yard sales. Also, you have to do this if this tip is gonna work. Ask the owner of the yard sale if they have any games.
Do you have any, I know in there was some like game stuff, but do you have any other like video games or consoles or anything?
Rob, do we have any video games or consoles?
PS1, PS2, Dreamcast, some PS1 games.
Oh, cool.
It's all over here.
Oh, okay.
Ask them if they have retro stuff. It works every time. They'll let you know if they do or don't. And what you're gonna do is add those for even more stuff that you can trade at the game shop. My next tip is to not leave the house without at least a little bit of cash. You want at least about $10 to $20 before you leave, and I'm assuming it's on a weekend. That's obvious. You should do this on a weekend for the art sales. Your next tip, number 4, is you're going to want to build a rapport with whoever is at that game shop. Make sure you build that rapport. You strike up a conversation. Just be really as friendly as you can. I would even just browse around the store a little bit just to get comfortable with the place if it helps you out. All right, now this next tip is more geared towards your, I would say if you have like maybe 5 or so games, you already have a couple games in your arsenal for the PSP system. And this tip is just play your games, play your PSP games. This helps me out all the time, because a lot of times, you know, I get caught up in the newer stuff, which is down here, my PS4. Sometimes I can neglect the PSP system, I admit it. But every time I force myself to pick it back up and play it, it gets all the game chasing juices flowing in my brain. If you're losing motivation, it will help you build your collection faster. I know, again, it sounds kind of simple, but I think it's a good tip. My whole experience with this is what inspired me to make this video and give you tips on how to do this, because that's my main goal, is for you to get a discount and get some trade-in credit, right? So that when you're shopping around, you can get something better. Make sure you do a little bit of research and watch some videos on what games you actually want, because I know I've been wanting this game forever. It's a better quality game, it's highly rated, and it's, as you can see, it's got a $20 price tag on it. I got $10 off, actually $11 off of this game, just simply because I grabbed 2 controls, old retro controls that were in horrible shape. That is my next tip. Make sure you get a game that you actually want, and research a little bit, because if you end up getting a cheap game that's too cheap and that you're not gonna really want to play or pick up, then the previous tip that I said, where you're gonna play your games to get those juices flowing, that's not gonna really apply, because your game that you got is gonna be garbage. So if you're one of those people that kind of swings on the other side of the spectrum and you really don't care about getting that quality game with all your trade-in credit, and you really just care more about quantity and getting those numbers in your collection, and you don't really care, you just want the cheapest stuff, then I have another tip for you. But I think it's still a solid tip, and that is keep an eye out for your Red Label games and also Lego games. Lego games are usually, I don't know if it's just me, but every time I see them, they're really cheap and they're actually fun. So I thought this would be a fantastic way for you if you are that person to get both quality and be able to get some quantity in there, because if you find several Lego games in one shop, you can probably make a clean sweep and just grab them all, and it'll probably only be like maybe 15-20 bucks. Don't quote me on that, but you get what I'm saying. The Lego games are usually cheap and they're gonna be quality. That's my last tip. Just keep an eye out for the greatest hit titles. I have a couple more on my shelf here, and that'll help you beef up your collection without hurting your wallet too much, and you can still use that trade-in credit. So thank you so much for watching. This has been fun to make. I had a ton of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please drop a like and subscribe. It would be amazing. I am on my way to 1,000 subscribers. That is my next goal. So again, I'm not gonna take up your time. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Till next time. Bye. To start your PSP collection, boys and girls. So, GP coming at you. I kind of, it's fun to say GP. I can understand why he says that, like GP coming at you. It's kind of fun to say. GP coming at you. How long is it gonna take till my neighbor stops dropping off milk on my porch? Now I feel like she heard that. I feel bad now. She heard that. I'm sorry. True story.